Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Self Engineer K here. We've got some pretty cool stuff to go through today. We had the AMA last night with Rhys and the Ecomi fam, so thank you so much for hosting me as well. I was truly humbled to be invited onto the stage, and it was really great fun just asking and answering questions with everyone. We also had the drop today, so I did manage to get the ultra rare Supergirl. So I just wanted to touch on that and my strategy. Along with that, the Catwoman, there was something I was refraining from sharing. A few of you guys already know what it is, but there is a kind of bug or alteration in the collectible that I wanted to just share with you guys. It may cause the price of it to go up in the future because we've seen it already with some of the other collectibles. As David Yu has said, that if they ever do a re-release, if you have the kind of altered or defect version, then it would be it can end up being more valuable. And we also had the chat with Kevin Smith and Dan Crovers, and they discussed a little bit on NFTs and just the kind of use cases, how they're going to kind of adapt into our common society as we progress, but also a little bit on the kind of smart contract and the benefits to licensors as well. And lastly, we have our price analysis, so we go through that. We also have the competition as well, so that's going to be ending tomorrow. The winner will be announced tomorrow on the AMA that we're doing with Trevor. So that AMA tomorrow with Trevor, that's going to be a bit more technical focused, more into the kind of like development process of the projects and just the projects themselves, the products that they're developing. And the winner will be announced on there. So that's going to be around about usual same time that I normally upload. So 1 a.m. GMT, somewhere between 12 and 1. So without further ado, we'll go straight into it. Now, we had the AMA last night on the official VeVe Discord, and there was a question that I asked because it's something that I see a lot of people talking about, and that is modeling the burn effect of Ecomi, the VeVe app on the OMI token. Now, I have said that it's quite difficult to accurately model it just because we know that the burn rate is not set in stone. There are so many ways they can change the burn rate, and Rhys has already alluded that there will be changes to the burn rate, such as additional burn events. They'll burn a lot of they could burn a lot of the tokens in bulk. Moving chain provides them with a very good opportunity to do so. They might just choose to not move some of the OMI tokens onto the new chain, effectively reducing the supply. So all of that stuff was discussed. But I just want you guys to have a listen to that. So on the point of tokenomics, so just going back to the point, I think Mark raised it about the guy who did like a quite an in-depth analysis on, he modeled like the burn rate and everything. And I've kind of been quite outspoken that, although I didn't disagree with the numbers or anything, that you can't really model accurately the tokenomics of, how the OMI token is going to burn, because you've alluded as well in the past that there can be additional burns added on, burn events, and you also alluded that when OMI is swapping over to the new chain, that's an ample opportunity to potentially burn tokens as well. And we don't have all of this information right now at present to make an accurate model. So would you say that you can't actually accurately predict the burn rate right now, and will we see additional burns?
I absolutely can say that. Yeah, you can't accurately model it. I haven't seen this thread, so I don't know what numbers he was using, but that burn rate increases as the user base increases as well. So I imagine you would have to make some pretty big assumptions as to how many users, how active they are, all of those things. You also can't integrate the new utilities, what effect staking will have on the token, all of those kind of things, because a lot of that information just isn't available yet too. I acknowledge that. So yeah, there is that. And yes, we have indeed alluded to extra burn events. When we switch over to immutable, maybe we just leave some tokens behind in those reserves as well, because we don't need a 50-year token supply in there. It's actually been an advantage to the way that it was initially designed, that we do have a lot of tokens. So it gives us a lot of opportunity there. As many of you know, there was the 97 billion that got locked away forever. And we were still thankfully and happily in a position to actually just leave those be. Whereas, I think some projects might have forked to reclaim them. So yeah, there's definitely potentiality there. I don't want to go out and give people massive ideas. That will depend on the transition itself, and we'll release more information on that as we go. But yeah, it's definitely on the cards.
So you guys heard it yourself. We know that there is the opportunity to burn tokens. We know that there are going to be additional burns. So it's very, very difficult if someone applies just one model. We don't even know the effect of staking the OMI token, the VeVeVerse, additional ways to burn, such as, the ideas people suggested, such as if you get to Jurassic Park collectibles, it would be in an egg and you could burn OMI tokens in order to hatch it, that kind of thing. Now, on the point of Catwoman, so this is just something that some people have noticed, but if you have a look at the handle, so we can see that handle is vertical, and okay, so the handle's pointing downwards. But if we go to the official collectible, the official statue designed by Joel Jones, if we zoom in now, if you have a look at the handle, it is horizontal. And every single version of it, this handle isn't actually, bendable. It's fixed in that horizontal position, but this one is vertical. So I believe this could be a mistake. It has been suggested, this was kind of like the artist's personal stance on the collectible. But from what I am aware, usually the artist will want to recreate the collectible to be as accurate to the real version as possible. I don't think they would, change the handle of the degree of the handle by 90 degrees. But that being said, we'll just have to wait for official confirmation. But this, I would personally, now this isn't official, but I would personally classify this as a defect, similar to the Jim Lee Joker, where it's missing the exclamation mark. So that's just something that I wanted to share with you guys. Could this make Catwoman more valuable? Could do. We have seen that the Jim Lee Joker, it did actually increase in value quite a lot, but now it's come down a lot. But I think that's just, it is supply and demand. Now, on the other point on Roger and Cohen. So Roger and Cohen posted this yesterday, and it is a kind of chat with Kevin Smith and some other industry leaders, and Dan Crovers was on it as well, which is really cool. Shout out to Dan here, and shout out to Ron English. We can see here that those collectibles in the background, I believe that is the McDonald's Supersize Me mascot. And I think these ones in the back, the silver and gold ones, I'm not sure if those are related to him as well. But these two, I'm pretty sure, are the McDonald's Supersize Me mascot. So that is pretty cool as well. Now, this is just something that Dan spoke about, which kind of is what got me interested in smart contracts in the first place, is this idea of royalties consistently being paid to kind of the owner or owners of an NFT. And it's definitely where licensing is going. This is why these smart contracts are so good in this kind of gig economy, where you no longer need kind of a middleman, an agent who kind of does all the paying of royalties to a content producer. They can just get it themselves, and it will be infinitely for their lifetime, as long as that asset is continuously traded.
However, with blockchain, which is basically just an immutable record of transactions, it actually allows the licensors to be continuously part of that ongoing secondary sale. And what we do in our system is that anything that sells in our secondary market, our licensors continue to get a small percentage of that sale forever. And I think this is really quite a fundamental change in the licensing world.
Okay, so that's exactly what I believe as well. This is exactly the point of blockchain technology disrupting existing industries. Is we no longer need to rely on third parties. For example, in the banking sector, you no longer have to rely on the banks doing the kind of settlements for transactions for you. It's just literally peer to peer. So that in itself removes the third party, the delays, the risk of fraud. It is a huge benefit is just kind of integrating that for kind of mass market use. We are still quite far away from that, but it's nice to see that, you know, for an industry which has been abused, such as, you know, the kind of arts and entertainment industry, you know, they get severely underpaid and severely overworked. It is nice to see that they get a bit more fairness now. On that point, I did also want to touch on the drop today. So I did manage to get the ultra rare Supergirl. I got quite lucky again. I didn't get any of the other ones though. The rare had sold out. The uncommon and common was still available, but I decided not to buy them. Um, that's because I usually always buy them if they're available, but this time I decided not to, just because I wanted to see if they would be going for less on the secondary market versus retail. And that's pretty much what happened right after the drop. I believe they are still going for less than retail. The Supergirl actually was going for very, very, very low. Like, it was only going for about 30 to 40 gems more than the retail price. So if you manage to pick up the other ones for, like, say 10 gems less than retail, then, and you pick up the Supergirl, then you've pretty much got the full set for retail. And yeah, that I found quite surprising. I would have expected it to go for more, but you know, guys can kind of see my showroom is still pretty messy. I do need to spend time like just properly doing it, but I just wanted to kind of add Supergirl there, and just kind of show you guys like just how it's growing now. So I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen next, but I definitely need, like, you know, plinths or something for my showroom to kind of organize things. Now, lastly, I did also want to just quickly touch on the competition. So that is going to be ending tomorrow. The winner will be announced in the AMA tomorrow. But like I said, I just shared some screenshots of the Supergirl. So it's going for like 124 gems. Buy it now. And this is kind of what I said is it'll probably go for like, you know, 20 to 30 gems more than what it retailed for, which is kind of what happened. And then the rare as well, Mirror. So I didn't buy this on the buy it now. Well, I could have, it sold out. And as soon as it sold out, it got relisted for less than retail, which I still don't understand. But, you know, there you go. And yeah, in terms of OMI, so the price of OMI, it was moving 1-to-1. And if we just go straight to the 30-day chart, yeah, so it was moving 1-to-1. And then right after the drop, we had our usual post-drop dump ritual. And we had quite a bit of a dump from OMI from where it was before in these highs, but you know, we're still quite far a bit away from hitting these lows again. And if you go straight to the USDT chart, we can see we are currently now moving on another downtrend, but we'll see. We could hit this trend line, but do I see us coming all the way down here? Yes, it can still happen. We don't know if Bitcoin's in a clear. Bitcoin dumps even a little bit, I see OMI, you know, coming straight back down. Right now, OMI is being propped up by, you know, all of the news that came out this week: the Immutable X, Ron English, you know, the impending exchange that should be coming in May. You know, every day that goes by, you know, is a day closer to that exchange. But, you know, people believe that that might be also delayed. And if we don't get that in May, then I believe OMI is definitely going to be coming down, you know, somewhere on this trend line here. So I think, you know, if you want, you can set some pending buys around about this 0.215 range, around there. But we'll see. We might hit this. We might hit this resistance again and retest and then break if we do get the exchange. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through with you guys today. We do have the AMA tomorrow, so definitely tune in for that. I will give you guys an update on that. We've got some really good questions to ask Trevor. And as always, please do like and subscribe to support the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.